He's able to name different objects properly. Instead of just randomly saying any words, he'd speak a lot more. So all of these are very, positive, very encouraging things to see as parents. Yeah.
Very nice. Dear parents, hello and welcome to another episode of Enara Talks. Today we'll be exploring the purpose of Enara and the positive impact it can have on children and their families. Shan and Nihan, I'd like to start by saying a big thank you for being here with us today. We're truly grateful to have you and excited to learn more about your journey. Many families notice the moments in their child's development where they may need a little extra support or guidance. This does not mean something is wrong, it simply means every child grows in their own unique way. At times, parents might feel unsure about what steps to take or where to begin, and that's completely natural. Shan and Nihan, I would like to ask you, before discovering Enara, what were some of the early signs or moments that made you feel that your child might benefit from extra guided support?
So initially, when our son was born, we learned that he has a tongue tie. So because of that, there was a lot of uncertainty because we weren't sure what to do. So we consulted multiple doctors. A lot of doctors told us that there's nothing to worry about, just let him grow and he will, once he starts speaking, you will get to know and it's going to be fine. While others suggested that it could lead to speech impairment. So because of that uncertainty, we were a bit concerned that where should we, should we do something extra for his growth? So that's where we decided that we need some extra support.
All right. I have another question for you. Many parents feel unsure about where to begin. And what was the period like for you emotionally and practically as you were trying to understand how best to support your child?
Yeah, so basically, at the time it was very stressful and it was very confusing, because of the uncertainty. Different doctors were telling us different things.
Sure.
So we didn't really know what to do. Should we go ahead and actually get a procedure done, a surgery done, which we didn't really want to do at the time because he was so young.
Of course.
Or should we just, wait and see? So yeah, that time it was quite stressful and confusing. So we decided to just, go with a simple approach, just maybe reach out and just have, work on his speech, basically. I think that was the decision that we came to, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you had the right plan for yourselves and for your child. Yeah. I've got another question to go on. Can you walk us through how first you came across Enara platform and what made you decide to give it a try?
So we heard about Enara through a relative, and she recommended that Enara is not only for autism or for ADHD, it is also for neurotypical children. So we thought it's a safe start. So we thought, why not just give it a go? So we thought we'll just come see the therapist and see if we want to go ahead with it or not. We were not sure initially, but we thought there's no harm.
Absolutely.
So we came, we met the therapist, they made us feel very comfortable, and they answered all our queries. That's how, when we felt that, this is something, okay, we can go ahead with. That's how we started.
Amazing. Well, it's very accommodating when you feel that, someone is understanding and trying to support. So I think you felt very
because they
accommodated
answered all our
by
queries.
our team.
Yes, because they answered all our queries that we had, all the concerns we had, we could easily tell them, and they were very accommodating. So they understood what we want. So they suggested that this platform will help them overcome his speech. So if there's any speech delay, he will learn new vocabulary, he will try to communicate better. That gave us some relief that, okay, maybe we have come to the right place.
Nice,
so that's why.
Nice. It's always good to try. It's always good to give the chance to try. Yes. So I would like to explore more your experience with Enara, and I would like to ask you, when you started using Enara, what were your first impressions? Did anything surprise you about the process or the way your child responded to it?
Okay, initially it's very challenging for us, for a child to sit in one place.
Of course.
So I would have to prep him in such a way that, your older sister is going to class, she's going to school, she's taking her classes. Do you also want to take your class? So he said yes. So because he sees her, sometimes there are online classes as well. So he would get excited. Then I was like, okay, let's go get ready. So I would shower him, get him dressed, brush his hair, and I say, okay, now this is you're getting ready for class. So basically, in a way, I'm preparing him for school as well.
Nice.
So then the next step is that I designated a table chair for him. I told him that now this is where you're gonna have your class. You're gonna sit here. And we'll do the class. So every single time we have a session, we would sit in one place designated for him, and then we would start the class. So initially his time span is obviously very less. So it's although it's only 10 minutes a day, this would take around 15 to 20 minutes initially, because sometimes he would sit, sometimes he gets bored, he starts running around the house, and then we have to engage him in such a way that, okay, now this class is coming. So there were certain games in the platform where he was interested. For example, if there are colors, he would say he's going to come back to it. So I would say, okay, now colors are coming. Or there are certain things that I learned from him only that he likes and he dislikes. So for example, if he's done there are 3 games in one session. So if he's done with the first one, he would go run around. The second one, he's not interested. Then he'll come back. For the second one or third one, I'll say, okay, now this is coming. Let's get started. So he would come back. And this is how he actually slowly started getting used to it. So earlier it was used to be very long, but the attention span was very less. Slowly, gradually, he started spending more time. And in the end, he actually started doing full sessions in one go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and over here also I would mention that what I learned from him is what he likes and what he dislikes. So over there, he would, for example, certain games which he doesn't like, I would tell to the therapist that, I think he doesn't like this, so could you change it with another one?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
that's because I learned that he's more fond of animals. So I told them to, swap the game with something that involves animals. So
Sure, that
whether it's
motivates
their
him to
names
use it.
or, animals running around or walking or just flying in the sky, birds and all. So he likes seeing all these things, so that interests him. So he would come back and join the class again. So this is where I feel that the therapists were very cooperative as well. So
Great.
they would listen to my queries, they would understand and tailor-made the program specifically for him. So that really helped him keeping engaged.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
I think your approach to this was amazing, because giving that little breaks in between, that gives the child a little bit of, a break and kind of restart with the new motivation. This is very nice, so he doesn't feel overwhelmed from the, continuously from the plan. So he has this little breaks. It's amazing. It's sort of a reinforcer to what he has done already, and then he gets to continue. Very nice. Great. So let's move on. I would like to mention this. Parents often share that they notice small, meaningful changes early on. What were some of the first positive shifts you observed in your child after beginning with Enara?
So there were quite few. I noticed that his vocabulary increased. Before, earlier, he would just give his gibberish names to the things that he wants or he is asking for, or when he's trying to communicate. Later, I learned that he has learned a few vocabulary. So when he points out the things, he's actually saying the name of the things. So that was very encouraging to see. Another thing is that I noticed that he is there's a game with the body parts.
Yes.
So when I'm dressing him up, he would say legs, hands. So he was actually practically even using those things in real life.
That's
so that
great.
was very encouraging as well. And I remember that one of the therapists, Hala, she told me that the body part game is there because children, they easily get hurt, right?
Yeah,
so
of
when they're playing
course.
around, they get hurt, or some part of
Absolutely.
their body is hurting. So when they want to communicate, that makes our job very easy to know where they're hurt.
Absolutely.
So
this is
that
what it
actually
is.
really worked. So my toes are hurting, my finger is hurting. That
So he was
communication,
able to
yes, he was able to
express.
express
Very
very
good.
well. So I really understood why that is there, and the relation of the games with the
Natural environment. Absolutely.
yes, everything was
yes.
connected to each other, and they were practically using in real life. That was something that I really enjoyed seeing in him.
Great. And you find it very useful, I believe,
Yes,
right?
I did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I also noticed one more thing I would like to add is that sometimes children are just seeing things and we think that they're not interested. So this was very interesting that there's a game where he has to touch his head,
Yes.
his shoulder, and he has to make a triangle like this.
It's an imitation
Yes.
game. Uh-huh.
So he has to imitate those signs.
Right.
And initially he would do the head and this, and then but he would go away. He would run around. He didn't want to do it. And when that game comes again, then he would run away again.
Okay.
Or sometimes it's starting from the starting only he would run away, or when it finishes he would come back and stuff. But then later I saw, like after you can say maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He by himself, we were sitting and we were he was just playing around, and I saw that he was joining his fingers.
Look at that.
So basically
amazing.
children, in the app there is nothing unnecessary. Everything, even if they don't want to
Absolutely.
do
Yes.
it, later on subconsciously it will come in their mind and they'll start doing it.
Totally, because they observe and they retain,
Yes.
and then they apply it later on. So yes,
Yeah.
that's how it is. And I'm glad you've seen this, with your child. Now I would like to move on and ask you the next question. How did Enara's activities and support from Enara's clinical team help you understand your child's progress better as a parent?
Yeah, I think throughout the experience that we were using in our platform, the therapists were very hands-on with us. We used to have monthly calls with them every month, and then we used to have in-person sessions as
That's
well.
perfect.
They were very supportive of us throughout the whole time,
Excellent.
They would give us really good feedback on his progress and on his development. They would really take the time to explain everything very, clearly. Also, like Neha mentioned, we have an elder daughter as well. So we would not just be asking about our son's development specifically, but also his, relationship with his
Definitely.
sibling and how
Sure.
to, handle
That's
different
important.
situations, all of those different kinds of situations. So that support was always there throughout. Another thing was that during these sessions, we also had an opportunity to share feedback on the platform. So, what works, what doesn't work, etc. Specifically for our son. So the therapists were very supportive in that, because they were able to take our feedback and then kind of modify the platform so that it was really tailor-made for our son. So in the end, he was doing those activities and games which really interested him. And overall, the learning experience was fun for him, basically.
That's nice to hear. I'm really happy to receive such positive feedback. Looking back, what part of the experience felt the most reassuring or empowering for you as a parent that you made the right choice for your child by choosing Enara?
So as we said, that the reason why we started Enara was for him to develop a speech, right?
Sure.
Because he was delayed in that, and Enara did help in that. So he learned vocabulary. He was able to, communicate with us. He was able to express himself. So that was one thing that was definitely there. That his, his development was it was a part of his development.
Great.
So speech was our major concern, which definitely came out well. So that is one thing. Another thing we saw that in
His attention span also.
Yes, his attention
increased.
span.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so basically, his because we had by using the platform, we had developed a routine. So he
Sure.
knew that we need to sit down at this time, and then I need to give my attention and my focus during this time, and I need to be engaged, basically. So it was very good to see that his attention span increased from a few minutes to 10, 15 minutes at
That's
one time.
awesome.
So that was very good as well. Apart from that, yeah, he's able to name different objects properly. Instead of just randomly saying any words, he would actually say the name of the object properly. He'd speak a lot more. So all of these are very positive, very encouraging things to see as parents. Yeah.
Very nice to hear that. Okay, so now I would like to ask with regards to, how friendly is to use in our platform, because nowadays the world is very digitalized, and we're coming across digital, approach in many aspects. Obviously, not all of us are hands-on with everything that is digital. However, we're still learning, and I would like to understand from you, how was it easy for you to access the platform? Was it actually easy? Did you find it user-friendly, or do you face challenges using the digital form of it?
No, I think it's very easy to use, to be honest. It's very user-friendly, because initially I saw when I started 1 year ago, it was new itself. So there were not many features. So I saw that past 1 year it had been improving. The more games are there, the more options to explore. There's a lot of information out there as well. Like for example, there's an option for how do you teach your child how to point out at things. So the video shows itself, and for every game also there is a video. Like there are videos for parents to teach children how to use the platform. So whether it's just pointing out or something counting or anything as such, there is always a parent's guide as well. So I find that very useful, and I do look into it before I start any game. So, and even I'm okay with my son watching that as well, so that I teach him also that, you know, this is what we have to do, this is how it's going to be and stuff. So he's okay, he enjoys watching videos. Anyways, you know, kids nowadays.
Of course, yes.
So he does that. Other than that, I see that there are options, or there's journaling as well. So if I have any concerns for that particular day when I'm doing the session, so they ask if the child took any medication, how is his mood, and all these options are also there, which I have to do yes, no, and all that. So I really like that option, that, you know, if anything, if it gives me also a check about my own child.
Sure,
you know?
yeah.
So it's good to have that option as well. Plus the journaling session in the end, if I have any feedback, I want things to change, or I want them to add something new to it, or if I feel that one game is quite fast, you know, you should make it a bit slower, you know, the delay time should be a little bit less. So that option is there. Earlier they didn't have on the mobile, it wasn't there, but now that option is also available, which I was really looking forward to it, to be honest. Because laptop, my son cannot 100% use the mouse, so there are certain games which requires, you know, swiping, ringing the bell.
Yes.
So those things I prefer that he touches and do it. So I do not give him a tablet, because that's not something that I encourage my own children. For both of them, we made sure that we give them a less screen time, which is very difficult nowadays, but it's about how you at home do it. So I myself also do not use too much of phone, because I know if I have phone in my hand, then my kids wanted to.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I had to make a huge sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
Sure.
And having said that, also, like, you know, having screen time, you know, we're not entirely in favor of it, but then it also depends on what kind of screen time is being, you know, how it's being utilized, basically. So, you know, if we're using the platform, whether it's on a laptop or a mobile or anything else, the child is learning something from it, and we are actually seeing those benefits in his real life, you know. So that's, you know, that's absolutely, we're all for that, basically, you know.
That's good to hear, because, you know, there is out there the stigma of screen time is bad for the child. So it's good to hear that functional screen time is actually benefiting the child. And this is what we always tell the parents, that don't worry about the screen time. You can break the access to the platform into the short periods where the child can access for 5 minutes, then take a break, come back. So 20 minutes a day of functional screen time, we consider it actually meaningful and functional. And now it's nice to hear from you that it proves that it works. That's good to hear. And my last question that I would like to ask is, every family's journey is unique, obviously. So what message or encouragement would you like to share with other parents who may feeling uncertain or overwhelmed right now?
I think we all go through a certain phase where we're confused about what should we do. You know, if you see anything that's bothering your child, and we really don't know the answer to it, obviously. So I think we should still, you know, do some research, find out what I can do best for my child, because every mother wants their child to progress in life.
Absolutely.
The sooner you start, the better it is. So I feel that if you feel that don't think that, you know, oh, my child will grow out of it. When they grow, they'll learn, they'll do better, everything's going to go away. No, I think you need to give in some effort from your side. It's difficult, yes, if you're working mom especially, but I think you should still, you know,
support the
child, you know, do some research, and this is only like starting is 10 minutes. 10 minutes a day is what we can give it to the child, right? At least this much we can do. So don't overthink. just go ahead, start with the platform. Especially the therapists are very, very accommodating. They will answer all your queries. They will make sure that the platform is organized in such a way that it helps your child's journey.
Sure.
So, with the passage of time, you will get to answer. You will get there are certain questions that are never answered by the pediatrics itself. Also, your relation with your other siblings and how you should treat your own younger one or the older one. I think those are the questions which I asked the therapist, and they were able to explain it to me whether I'm going in the right direction or not. So that was very reassuring for me as well. So I feel that just have a look, search about Enara, come talk to the therapist, give it a try. Don't overthink.
Yeah, that's amazing to hear that. Shan, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I would say the same thing actually. Basically, our experience with Enara has been the therapists have been very supportive throughout.
That's good to hear.
And that's my message to other parents as well, basically. Not to overthink it too much. Just literally just come in, just have a sit down, have a chat. There's no pressure to start,
Thank you.
learn more about the platform, understand what it's all about. Rest assured, Enara's therapists will keep you comfortable and will leave you satisfied with whatever questions you ask. So yeah.
Shan and Nihan, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your story and your journey.